Okay, so today we're going to be doing factorising quadratics. I'm going to solve one and then I'm going to explain how they work basically. So, okay, when we solve a quadratic, what we're looking to do is look at this n number here. In this case it's minus 6. And what we want to do is we want to find the factors of minus 6. So that's things that multiply together to make minus 6. So we're going to go 2 times minus 3 is minus 6. Minus 2 times 3 is minus 6. Minus 6 times 1 is minus 6. And 6 times minus 1 is minus 6. The next step is we want these pairs of numbers to add together to make this plus 5 over here. So let's see if we can do it. 2 plus minus 3, that's 2 minus 3, so that is minus 1. So nope. Minus 2 plus 3, so 3 minus 2, and that's 1, so nope. Minus 6 plus 1, that's 1 minus 6, which is minus 5, so nope. And 6 plus minus 1 is 6 minus 1, which is 5. So we've identified our pair of numbers, and now all we need to do is go straight to our form of x minus, and our first number is 6. And in our next pair of brackets, x minus minus 1, which goes to x minus 6 and x plus 1. And that is our final factorised form for that expression. Okay, here's another example. We've got x squared plus 7x plus 12, and again we're going to be focusing on this last number here. And again, the first step is to list all the factors, so things that multiply together to make 12. So we've got 3 times 4, minus 3 times minus 4. We've got 12 times 1, minus 12 times minus 1. We've got 6 times 2, and we've got minus 6 times minus 2. So now that we've got our list of factors, once again we need to find the ones that add together to make this number positive 7. So let's have a look. 3 plus 4 is 7. So we found it straight away. So we've got our pair of solutions. So we're going to put those straight into the form x minus 3 times x minus 4. And that is our final factorised form. Okay, so now I'm going to quickly show you why we factorise things. So as you can see here, we've got the graph y equals x squared, which does this nice long curve, touches the y-axis at coordinates 0, 0, and then carries on curving up. And this curve is called a parabola. Now, the reason we factorise is because sometimes we get curves like this. So all quadratics that start with x squared will look like this sort of U shape here called a parabola. And the reason we factorise is because we want to know where it crosses the x-axis. So this is the x-axis here, and that is when y equals 0. Yeah, so when y is 0, all along here, y is 0. And we want to know when it crosses that line. So the equation of this blue line here is over here. And we're going to go ahead and factorise it and then see how we can find where it crosses this x-axis. So once again we look at the minus 6 and we've got to list the factors of minus 6. So we've got minus 6 and 1, 6 and minus 1. We've got 3 and minus 2 and minus 3 and 2. And then we need to see which one of them adds to make, we want minus 1 lot of x. So we want minus 1. So minus 6 plus 1 is 1 take away 6, which is minus 5. 6 plus minus 1 is 5. 3 minus 2 is 1. And minus 3 plus 2, 2 take away 3, which is minus 1. So this is what we want. So we can go ahead and put that straight into our form of x minus minus 3 and x minus 2. And that just goes to x plus 3 and x minus 2. So now we need to look at how this affects our curve here. What's it got to do with it? So as you can see, I've got y equals this expression here. So I can put y equals this here. And when this blue line intercepts this x-axis, y is equal to 0. So we can say that this expression here, x plus 3, x minus 2, equals 0. So now we've got two brackets multiplied together to make 0. And when we multiply two things together and the answer is 0, we know that one of those things is 0. So what we know is either x plus 3 equals 0 from this bracket, or we know that x minus 2 equals 0 from this bracket. If we go ahead and take 3 off both sides of this top expression, we get x equals minus 3. And if we add 2 to both sides of this expression, we get x equals 2. So what this means is, when y is equal to 0, x is either minus 3 or x is 2, which means we know that this one, because it's on the positive half, is 2, and this one, because it's on the negative part, is minus 3. So we've just found the coordinates of where this graph intercepts the x-axis, and that's at minus 3, 0 and 2, 0. Thanks for listening.